Hey, what's going on, Donkey Kong Spawn and Don Cornelius? I know I've said that before, but yo, he used to run Soul Train. Anyway, we're going to install an upgrade kit for this homie over here, and this is a Studio Series Optimus Prime from Transformers 1, obviously. Pretty cool toy. Yeah, not without its flaws, I mean, like most things. But these upgrades are from a new studio called Yang Studios. I've never heard of them, actually. I've installed, like, Matrix Workshop, Black Soil, Go Better or Go Getter or Get a Robo, I don't know, one of those things. But yeah, this is from Yang Studios, and this is actually 3 sets. This is the first set, which consists of gap fillers. The second set, which consists of shoulder, flamethrower, kind of those upgrade bits, along with a blaster that kind of resembles the G1 Ops blaster. And then finally the one where he takes from like one of the workers or soldiers or something, and he jumps in that iconic pose, not only from the 86 movie, but actually taken from Gundam. Did you guys know that? Well, anyway, because a lot of the people who worked on that project worked on the 86 movie. And when we rate this set, we're going to be rating it for 1, color fidelity, 2, rough cut in terms of like the print quality, and then 3, how easy it is to install without having the user put in any like elbow grease and like heavy manual labor and stuff like that. And so we'll start with the easy bits. We'll start with the blaster over here. And this looks cool. It looks very cool. And accuracy, fidelity wise, yeah, it all looks fine as well. In terms of print quality, you can certainly tell that it's 3D printed, but it's kind of grainy versus having too many like lines. You know what I'm talking about? Doesn't look that bad actually. And there you can see a little bit of lines. But again, yeah, it's understandable that these things are going to be like this. And but it's not too bad. And the paint is done decently well. Hope it fits in his hand well. Oh, it's a little tight. All right, not impossible. Not impossible. Okay. So as long as you don't insert it all the way in, the back stock or whatever this is can rest over whatever his forearm. I was like, whatever that thing is called, the forearm, and he can kind of get in that pose. Actually, I don't even know how to do it, but you know what I'm talking about. Maybe he's doing something like this or something. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, that iconic pose, the one that I'm doing a horrible job of doing. But that looks cool, man. It looks cool, and it looks like the blaster from the movie. Perhaps I can get a picture so we can compare it. If I've done my editing right, you'll see it right over here. Not too bad. So this bit, which is like set C or something like that, pretty cool. Yeah, decent marks from me. It gets a pass. Obviously, totally cosmetic. I mean, all of these things are cosmetic, right? And sometimes, yeah, you get it just for the sake of like movie fidelity and stuff, but you don't need them. And here we have his blaster. You know what? This almost looks like Soundwave's blaster too. You know what I mean, with the tip and everything. But that fits well. The blue is not identical, but it's pretty decent. And you can see some print marks on that, but it's not horrible. Feels pretty good to the touch. That's not bad at all, actually. And let's get some dual-wield action over here. Kind of pose them up. Yo, this thing likes to fall off a lot. Is it just mine, or like, do you guys have that issue as well? Like, now it's kind of stuck. Okay, there it goes. Dead or alive, you're coming with me. That's another show. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Those get a pass. The gap fillers. Now this is really where you see if they've done their homework or not, and what type of materials and tools that they've had. Because some of the kits, even though they measure them well, they don't think about how it would the width when it gets painted, and that typically is a downfall. Oh, forgot to add these. Some silver paint came off. Nice. Yeah, so sometimes that paint is a drawback. They just never quite measure this with. So looking at this, I don't know if they've sanded it, but there's intentionally no paint down on that white part, which is the base material in which this is printed. So we're going to remove the shoulders. And then we're going to get that on there. Plugs in nice and snug, not too tight, but just the right amount. And so, whoa, that's quite an upgrade compared to what we're seeing over here. But I think this was the look, right? This was the look. when it's like, and he's shooting out the flames. That was kind of cool because I don't think we've ever seen Optimus Prime's little smokestack things utilized as weapons in any version, or I haven't at least. But then again, my knowledge is not all encompassing. You got to talk to like homie from the basics, Chris McFeely. He would probably know. That's my flame sound effect. And yeah, it does totally look like it's Blush compatible. Or not. It looks like it would be 5mm compatible. Hold up. I think it is. It's just a it's an extremely tight fit, and this just kind of popped off. But this is just on a tab and slot, and yeah, that fits in nicely. But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. I wonder if I can get a picture of what it looks like in the movie so that we can compare it. And if I've done my editing and if I found a picture, then you'll see it right over here. And if you don't, then I wasn't able to find one. But them mounted on his shoulders, that looks a bit obnoxious. It would look cool if he had a jet wing to accompany him. But yeah, that just looks a bit obnoxious. And so, yeah. And print quality wise, for some reason my camera is having difficulty focusing on it. It's the same type. It's not too grainy. It's not too liney. But it just looks really obnoxiously big on him. And so we're just going to take that off for now. But for what it's worth, yeah, decent. And I like the fact that they paid attention to the thing that I was pointing out where they didn't put any paint on the connection port itself. Otherwise, that would have been a problem because that was pretty tight as is. I mean, it was a good fit. It wasn't overly tight, but yeah. All right, gap fillers. These are either going to be a blessing from heaven or the bane of my existence. It's really one or the other. Typically, there is no middle path for these. I've taken a quick look at the TF Safari site. Oh, I forgot to mention, this was sent to me by tfsafari.com, my sponsor. You guys probably know that. You can see their logo right over here in the top left. And on the top right, these are some coupon codes that you can use to save yourself some money. Always forget to mention them. And, you know, I'm sounding like I'm super ungrateful, but I totally am not. Very, very thankful to tfsafari.com for hooking me up with these and all the other third-party stuff that you see on the channel. So for the feet, we have this bit. It just looks like it's on friction. I can't see any type of like joint or anything that it would mount on, but oh, that slides in real nice, man. And that color is quite similar actually. It's hard to tell the difference. That's great. That feels extremely good. Oh, I'm having good feelings about this set. Okay. And the back, yeah, there's no hooks or anything, so it just looks like it's just going to slide. Oh, that feels extremely good. It's tight enough that it's not going to fall out, but if I wanted to, I could peel it off and show you the insides, but that's nice, man. And I don't think it's going to impede. Yeah, it's not going to impede transformation. This is great. I'm feeling real good about that. It's a feel-good moment right there. Same thing for this. We'll just kind of press that down. And this is how I want the upgrades to feel, gap fillers to feel all the time. So far, so good, dude. Yang Studios, high marks from me. This is literally the first time I'm installing these. I have no previous experience with this set or this studio or anything like that. This looks great. This looks really good. And I'm going to keep saying that because it's a nice moment. It's a nice moment. All right. So we have the back part, and it just looks like it slides into that gap. Little tight. It's sliding in, but it's more force than I'd like to use. I'm trying to see where exactly it. All right, man, hold up. I'm just gonna have to remove this skirt because I keep applying too much force to it. I'm popping it off. I'm trying to see if I did have to file it, where would I have to file it? But you see what I mean? It's going in, but it's not going all the way in. But I don't know if maybe that's all it's meant to do, because this top part, it's actually colliding against this lip, like it won't go all the way in actually. Um, like this part over here, this raised section, when I push it, yeah, it collides and it doesn't slide all the way in. I don't know if it's meant to be like that, but there is a noticeable gap there, for better or for worse. But yeah, whatever, dude. I'll say that it slides in fine. I'm trying to remember how this looked. I think it's like this, and that slides in great. Color-wise, it's a pretty decent match. It feels a little rough, like the paint feels a little bit rough on my hands, but not the worst thing in the world. And there seem to be tiny little blemishes there, but again, I will give it a pass for what it's worth. And they do feel loose enough where I can pop them out if I needed to. They do only go in one way, so be mindful of that. Like for instance, if I wanted to film this short and I wanted to remove them, yeah, I could feel it coming off. And so, but it's tight. It's tight in there. I think some clear coat would have been nice on it because I think I'm feeling a little of the paint on my hand. But no, that slides in pretty good, dude. And that fills out pretty nice. Color pairing is pretty good. So, hey, Yang Studios. So far, so good, man. So far, so good. And then we have the thigh fillers. Philistillers. Same thing. This paint seems to get some type of like abrasion on it pretty easy. Or like, yeah, so you can see it's got some scuffs on here. And that double T position, that little post peg or whatever, tab, oh, that slots in there perfectly. That's a really nice fit. Color pairing is pretty good. It's slightly off, but that fits in there. And yeah, it doesn't make the thigh look too fat. This one is not as tight as the other one. Still, it's not going to fall off by any means, but it's looser than the other one is. But it fits in there overall pretty nice. Perhaps even a little more flush than the other one. Not bad. And at a distance, yeah, you can see that they're not identical colors, but again, to the untrained eye, perhaps you wouldn't know. Not bad. Not bad, Yang Toys. Or Yang Studio, excuse me. I think this just slides in. I'm just trying to get clearance with my fat fingers. All right. There seem to be these, you see that? There's these two little nubs there. I don't know if that's from like a, those are sprues from a printer or something, but it's kind of, I mean, first of all, it's hard for me to get in there. And okay. It's sliding in there right now. I feel like once I get that in there, it's not coming off. That's... The back is also not sliding in there. Hold on for a second. I'm going to see if I could try to remove it without breaking it. I'm going to see if I can get a spudger in there, because I think I'm going to have to file. All right, I'm going to try to get a spudger in there to remove it, because I think I'm going to have to file this down. One moment. All right, I got both sides in, but I did have to file it a tiny bit. You know those two little bumps that I was telling you about? So I just filed those down. It just took very, very little sanding. But once I did that, they slid in there. And both sides had the same issue. I will say, though, that this bit behind the forearm towards the rear, that part does not sit flush. As you can see how there's a bit of a gap. And on this side, it's a little bit worse. It doesn't really sit flush, but not the worst thing in the world. I've had other kits, well-known kits, that basically did this way worse. And so while I'm not a fan of sanding, it wasn't impossible. So let's keep going. And I have my trusty little file over there in the background. This is supposed to have, I think this is a transformation port, so that's not going to be filled, but I do think that wrist is going to be filled up. With this. Oh, where'd it go? With this bit. I am a tad concerned because you can see, like, I can see that it's going to just slide in there, but the sides of this are painted. And I think it's going to create unnecessary friction. Like, yeah, I can already tell. Well, actually, I take that back, man. All right, I don't think that's sliding in there any more than it can go. I think this is the extent, and that's obviously not coming off. But that's not bad, dude. The lines line up. The color is good. I do wish it sat a little bit more flush. I mean, I can't take it out now, but perhaps if I had shaved a little bit off the ends of here, it would have sat a little bit deeper in. But whatever, dude, that's on me. And so because I want the other side to be identical, I'm not going to sand this down either. So hopefully I can just press in. It is a tight... Oh! Yeah, it's the same thing. It goes in all the way, and it just stands out a little bit there. It's not too hateful for me. It's not too hateful. Would I have preferred it to be absolutely flush? Yes, of course. But I can live with it. I've had toys that I've modified with, what is it? Gap fillers where I just didn't like the look and I ended up selling it. But this is not one of them. I could live with this. And these must be the final parts. And that slides in relatively well. I think this top part is meant to protrude because this bottom part sits flush. But I will say it's not fully painted on the side over there. Well, I take that back. I think it is. I take that back. I think it is. And this one fits much better. Actually about the same. So it does sit flush and it kind of pops out. So I don't know, man. Maybe everything that they're doing here, everything that's where it's like still kind of popping out, that is all intentional on their part. Perhaps it is, perhaps it isn't. I don't know. But overall, oops. Gotta put your skirt back on, buddy. Overall, I'm pretty impressed, dude. I've handled several of these kits through my sponsor, and some of them, like, no offense to Go Better, but that's probably the one that's broken on me like the most. And I'm not a huge fan of them. Black Soil is okay. Matrix Workshop is probably one of the better ones. I will say this feels pretty good, dude. Especially for, I mean, I don't know if they've done other kits before, but this is the first time that I've encountered their kit, and bro, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. Let me get everything resituated. In fact, I think I'm going to be able to peel some of these back off, except for the deep ones over here, like the wrist and then the back of the forearm. I'll probably be able to do a short for this as well, just so that I can give my sponsor some additional love, because they show me so much love. Can I put these anywhere? But here he is, man, all dressed up. Maybe these look better down like that. Yeah, you know what? These look much better down like that. Gives him great presence. Dude, dude, like, no cap, no joke, dude. I swear, oh man, I said I would never use that phrase, no cap, but I hear it so frequently now. But no joke, real talk, this is a pretty decent set. Once again, the gap fillers are one set. The blasters these are another set, and this is the third set. But if you got some change, you know, some additional change to throw around, this might be something that you use to upgrade your Studio Series Optimus Prime to look more like the movie. And so in terms of overall gap fillers, on a scale 1 to 10, I'll probably give it like an 8. These I'll probably give an 8 or 9. Gap fillers maybe a 7. These also like an 8 and 9. Nothing is like a perfect 10 in this set, but still, it's pretty high marks from me. Huh, pretty neat. Wonder if there's one for Megatron. I'll have to check it out. Thanks for watching, friends. Or actually, maybe I do have... No. The Megatron one that I have is a Superman Studios. Anyway, I will talk to you next time, my friends. Thanks for joining me. Bye.